Well, down in Argyle, Texas, at my other uncle's shop. Little Hot Wheels car here. Auburn 852. It's a nice little dream car. Oh, wait. There he is, and there's his dream car. That's my Uncle Ogre. My other Uncle John. He's got a brilliant personality, hence the nickname.
The good-looking one.
The good-looking one, yes. Yes. E-Type Jag.
71 Series, which one are you talking about?
E-Type.
71 Series 3 V12. 2+2, British Racing Green, dusty, and cinnamon interior, and a 4-speed. All original.
4-speed manual. And we did you just rebuilt the carburetors. We hooked all the lines back up, hooked the, what was it called? Emission system. Then did the oil, put new oil in the carburetors. Hooked up a new fuel pump.
Electric.
Yep. Electrics for a fuel pump. And what else did we do on this thing? Is that it?
No, you did something else, but I don't remember what it is. No, you did something else, but I just don't remember what you did. And then the Corvette.
Yep.
It's a 76, and it's yellow.
Yeah.
It's got a 350 in it. And what else? It's all original.
Yeah, L-48. All original. You said it was never washed, right? Inside, and stored inside.
And of course, you wanted to buy it for $1 more than what I got it for.
Exactly. Yeah. That's generally the fair price amongst family, right? Mm-hmm. You don't ding them out of a profit, but they don't, when selling it to you, they don't ding you too much out of the return.
Right.
Bumpers are discolored or separate color because the bumpers were replaced because they aren't original. These
we have the originals.
Have the originals, yeah. But in case something terrible happens, nothing happens to the originals because those are hard to. Well, you only get one original.
And on the 76, it had a different steering wheel, which was only there for 1 year, and it has been taken off and in storage because it's a 1-year steering wheel.
Okay.
And you can't get them.
Yep. And then your Auburn here, which has been the belle of the ball of the weekend for the projects we've been working on that one. So it didn't turn over. Oh yeah. That's one of the problems. Bad carburetor. But to figure out that we had a bad carburetor, we had to get the thing to turn over the starter relay wouldn't work. Come to find out that though the starter relay had a grounding wire landed brand new, had a grounding wire landed to another metal chassis, which had a grounding wire going somewhere else. That assembly wasn't grounded. That going otherwhere else somehow got detached. This hat's ridiculous. Oh well, I'll keep wearing it.
And he fixed it.
Yeah, I fixed it. He pointed.
He found it. He fixed it.
He pointed to me. Yeah. So
he found it. He fixed it.
New grounding wire. After tracing out after putting it all back together, you had it fairly well disassembled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to put everything back together to get it in the correct assembly. Still not working. To troubleshoot it again. Found the ground problem. Got the starter working, and then after cranking a while, it wasn't. We weren't getting fuel, so then we were troubleshooting the also brand new mechanical fuel pump. After troubleshooting that, found that we had no fuel coming from the mechanical fuel pump. We tested all the fuel lines to make sure that we didn't have a clog in the system. Do we have one of those mechanical fuel pumps still in over here? Let's hit the bin. Probably already hit the trash. Oh well. But yeah, mechanical fuel pump wasn't delivering any fuel to the carburetor, then to the engine. So went and bought a little electric fuel pump that's rated for carburetors. Rigged that up. We rigged up the little electric and then found that the carburetor had problems, to say the least. So one of the diaphragms, the 4 mounting set screws to the diaphragm, one of them had sheared, and so it was leaking out of the front.
But it was there.
It was there. It was there. It looked perfectly fine. But when I went to tighten everything down, all 3 were nice and snug, and then one just kept turning and turning and turning and turning, and that typically means it's stripped. So we pull the carburetor, try to find the receipt for return. That didn't work. So we spent last night researching new carburetors for this 351 Cleveland that's in it, that powers this thing.
You explained it's a 36 Auburn SG.
Yeah, second gen, so it was manufactured in the factory, but it was basically put together by spare parts. It wasn't on the original assembly line release, but it was built on the same assembly line.
Correct, it's an SG.
Yes. No one's going to know what SG means besides you and all the other people that understand what those trophies mean. Want to tell them about your trophies?
The only ones I care about are Ladies' Choice.
Of course. And nothing else about you is charming to get them to pay attention.
That's right. And the only one I really care about, honestly, was the one we talked about earlier today, which is a very small one right here, and it's called Glenn Prey. He bought Auburn Cord in Duesenberg and moved it to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He owned the company for 50 years and passed away shortly after the 50th reunion. And at the 50th reunion, he chose this car as his pick at the reunion. So that's my only trophy that I go, yeah. So that was the Glenn Prey pick at the 50th reunion. That's all.
Okay.
That's it. And it's not black. It is eggplant.
Eggplant, yes. The richest burgundy you've ever seen.
Eggplant. Yep. A dirty eggplant at that.
Well, you know, got to keep it authentic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and Jonathan fixed everything.
I try.
It's a work in progress.
He was super impressed at the rate I was able to get the mechanical fuel pump out.
Don't go there. I worked on the mechanical fuel pump and I did get it out, but in order to get it out, I had to remove the power steering, the fan belt, the accumulator. I disassembled the front left side of the car, got the pump, put it back in, put everything back in place, new power steering, everything. And we believed that the mechanical pump was still malfunctioning, and Jonathan got it off in about 6 minutes. So no, I'm not happy about that at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Well, I think he's a little happy, maybe not impressed or appreciative of the difference, but
not at all.
Just think, without me, it would have been a lot longer.
No, because I would have taken the whole front end of the car off again, and I still don't know how you did it. And you made a plate for it.
Yep.
We've covered the opening up, and we're going with an electric fuel pump. Once we determine what would work best by talking to different companies and determining what fuel pump matches what carburation, and we'll go from there.
That's the plan. So right now we have having made that adapter plate to.
And I damn near knocked myself out today.
Yeah, he did. He's actually a little more docile, a little more charming because he's a little bit concussed.
On the speedometer cable.
That's right. Yes, speedometer cable got that taken apart and put back together, and
that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Yep. That's what lowered this one notch, and I walked flat.
And just wrecked his head right on this corner. I've never seen that guy squat down and go to the ground so fast.
Yeah.
But ringing your bell on a nice 3/4 inch steel is a good way to do it. But yeah, so we got the adapter plate mocked up. I just cut that and manufactured out of some scrap steel we had. Got to gasket it up. So that spot for the mechanical fuel pump has been abandoned, and got new wires run off of the run circuit of the key switch that's dangling down there, back through the firewall, down underneath the body, and waiting for the new pump that he specs out.
Tell them about your drive in the Corvette.
Okay, fine. So the Corvette. Let me pause and start a new video because I got 45 seconds left on this clip.
Yeah, for dinner in 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Sweet. Well, I only got another 10-minute clip to record, so perfect. The Corvette. So yesterday, when we were running down to get the fuel pump, And let's see. Yeah, we needed to mock up an electric fuel pump for the Auburn. I got the new fuel filter for the carburetor, which is brand new, still on the old one, by the way, so make sure to scab that before we throw it in the trash.
Your earplug is there, by the way.
Oh, great. I'll throw that away. Then also some hose clamps and random assortment of stuff that we needed to continue working. So we're headed in, my aunt and I are headed in the Corvette. He cut me loose with it, and we're going to O'Reilly, a couple miles down the road. And it's an old car. It acts like an old car. Lumps, clunks, squeaks, but it's still cool. And we're driving down, and the first thing I notice is when you put on the brake, it pulls left, then right. That's just the stiction between the pistons. And as we're driving down the road, I'm noticing, I just come to this awareness that, I'm holding left. And as I'm going down the road further, I'm noticing I'm having to hold more and more left. So I loosen my grip on I loosen the pressure on the steering wheel, back my hands off a little bit, and then immediately grab them again because we started going to the ditch. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to address this. So I pull off on the side of the road, and then we start smelling it. The brake calipers. Get out, yep, some wisps of smoke. So the passenger side front tire, just down there, the brake caliper had stuck. So my aunt gives this guy a call to stress him out as much as he can. You know, just send him out with the Corvette. And what do they do 5 minutes later? They call me. What does that mean? They're in trouble. Am I getting this right? Is that the internal dialogue?
Yep.
Yep. And so, you know, I'm trying to talk through my aunt to my uncle about what's going on. So then she puts it on speaker. So, long story longer. Park the car a little bit, just up the road to Sonic. So we ooch it there. Get a Sonic drink, enjoy half of it, and then go to a parking lot, put it in reverse, and try to, you know, turn the wheels lock to lock, pumping the brakes to try to get them to loosen up. They end up loosening up. I'm able to push the car in neutral, which means the brakes aren't bound anymore. And we truck it another mile or so to O'Reilly's. And then on the way back, everything's working good. You know, hit the brakes, normal stab left, stab right, and then you're braking straight. But it wasn't holding right because the calipers are collapsed. And get it into about the neighborhood on the next stop, and I start notice it's pulling, and then get her on in. So it was a bit of an excitement, extra exciting Corvette ride. You know, when things start, when you got an old car that has a personality and it decides to introduce itself to you in a pretty I don't know, abnormal way, exciting way, not perfect running machine way, but just keep your head about you, think through the problems that you're having, and get the job done, have fun, be safe. So that's what this weekend has been about, is working on old cars, hanging out with family. You know, I get to get greasy having fun, and they feed me and give me a place to stay. It's a pretty good deal. So,
yeah. Listening to words that you've never said when I smacked my head.
Oh, yes. I've never said such colorful and simple spelled words.
That's right.
Never once. Never once on this vlog. Nope. William and I have a fairly unspoken agreement. I mean, we can talk about it, just not to each other. And that is, you know, the reason we cuss and swear at each other is because we can't say I love you. So I can tell him to fuck off.
Oh, jeez. I gotta bring the tractor in, so you need to wrap up it, because we got dinner in 5 minutes.
5 minutes till dinner. That's about right.
All right, so I'm gonna bring the tractor in.
All right. So yeah, a little video of what we've been doing all weekend. It's been a lot of fun. I wonder what kind of resume I could write. You know, with all this classic car work underneath my belt.
Come over to the wood shop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the uncle's wood shop as well. Oddly enough, these spaces always existed when I was a wee lad, but I've done more work in them in my 20s than I ever did younger than that. But it's still good to be here. But they live down in Texas. It's kind of hard to learn these things, but didn't keep me from trying. That is a massive vise. Sitting on the floor. But yeah, he also was my uncle's a retired American Airlines pilot. Woodworking as a lifetime hobby. Classic cars as a, I don't know, I guess lifetime hobby. He's always had cool stuff. He's had Rolls Royces, he's had Mercedes, he's had the Jag and the Auburn. Cool stuff to be around. Great people to visit. Catch you guys later.
Alrighty, go get your stuff, go get your watch and your belt.
Yep.
And
Dinner.
dinner. Let me close up this shop.